Okay, it's Saturday on Your View. Good morning. Thank you for joining us. I'm Veronica Dan Ikboy, and as usual, I have my beautiful co-host here with me this morning. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
I just love that smile on your face. How are you?
I'm all right. I'm good. I'm having a bit of a running stomach. I didn't sleep all night. Yes.
So
maybe
sorry.
something I ate unsettled me.
Yeah.
So I'm waiting. Immediately after the show, I'm heading home to go and sleep and catch my rest.
Sorry. Absolutely, it's necessary.
But I'm still, my business, I'm still doing sales. I have like clearance sales that's going on all my products. So people can reach out to me on my social media pages and book. Yeah.
Do the needful.
Buy the market. Dollar is going, buy the market now.
Christmas is almost here. Buy the market now. All right, Toby, how are you?
I'm very, very well.
Obviously.
Today's such an exciting day for me. So later in the day, I'll be hosting a live recording. Tagged Sons of Sons conference. It's a live recording.
I really wanted to be there.
I hope you'll be there. It's this evening. It's organized by David and Keno.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's just beautiful to know that I'll be on this side and not on the audience side. Yeah. So I look forward to it this evening.
Absolutely.
Nice.
I'm sure you have a good one. All right. Damola, you're sitting beside me today.
Pressure. I'm fine. I had a productive week, and Tope used one of our glasses on the show, and it's been a great turnaround for the business. We've been getting a lot of inquiries that the smart glasses on Tope, and sales, So I'm just really grateful. It was a really good week for us today. We've just been packing and sending orders.
Can the glasses be in shade form?
Yeah.
Because my eyes are pretty clear. I don't have the issues some of the people have. So I'll just like it in shade.
Don't go to the
Talk to us straight.
Direct the question and
the lenses can be customized too.
Yes, absolutely. That's nice. Anyway, I had a mixed bag of issues over the week, especially having to engage people, talk about issues, and you see some things. Over the week, I saw an elderly man who jumped into the Third Mainland Bridge.
Oh my God!
And he said he was accused, and so he took his life. They tried speaking with him, but he went ahead to take his life because of some of the issues. And they asked him, "Okay, let's go to the police station." He just said, "I beg." He can't deal, and then he took his life. Then there was someone else again whom we saw, I think around Yaba area, Axis or Surulere, who was also trying to, commit suicide, and he was held, and it just goes to show that a lot of people are dealing with a lot.
Absolutely.
And as it is, it's important that we speak with people. As much as we know that everybody has one issue or the other to deal with, you can always find a shoulder in someone else who has the capacity to carry another burden or to help you through the challenges you're going through as an individual. But then it was a productive week at the end of the day.
Good. Excited to know.
Right?
At the end of it all.
Exactly.
Anyway, when we return, we'll be looking into the newspaper headlines this morning. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
All right, thank you for staying with us. We're looking at the top stories now on the front pages of the newspapers. And I begin with the Nation newspaper. The major story here says, strike. Labour adamant shuns Pali called by government. And some riders here, we are not in violation of any court order. NLC insists Tinubu Sultan strike will cause severe hardship for masses. That's what the government is saying. And another story here, confusion shrouds health condition of tourism minister. APC intervenes in Ondo deputy governor's impeachment saga. Court grants Ayedatiwa leave to serve assembly. Demolitions, court orders Kano government to pay shop owners 30 billion naira. And here, gunmen abduct 31 villagers in Niger attack. And on the top corner here, Atiku on fishing expedition, Tinubu tells US court, insists on reversal of order, asking Chicago Varsity to release academic records of ex-VP. And then Lagos government bans street trading, hawking statewide, or disclosure of Ladipo Mushi market. Who has what story here?
Yes, so I think I'll take the Ladipo. So Lagos State government on Friday announced a total ban on street trading, hawking, and building of illegal structures on the drainage setbacks, and also display of wares on walkways across the state. I think there was an incident that happened in Magodo.
Yeah.
That was also a part of it. So the Commissioner for Environment and Water Resources, Mr. Tokunbo Wahab, was the one who made the disclosure in Lagos. And Wahab said the State Environmental Sanitation Corps has been directed to strictly enforce compliance with the environmental sanitation laws. The Commissioner explained that the latest offensive was meant to curb the activities of hawkers who disguise themselves to rob motorists and also disrupt the free flow of traffic on highways. In a related development as well, they have ordered the Ladipo market to be shut down for environmental offenses, including reckless waste disposal, unhygienic premises, and non-payment of waste bills, among others. So the Commissioner for Environment and Water Resources, Tokunbo Wahab, was the one who gave the order, and he said the market will remain closed until the mandatory conditions of redress are met by the traders and market stakeholders. And is also a part of making sure that they instill compliance across board. So if you're going to be in the market, you need to make sure that you tidy your
environment.
Premises, yes, to avoid health hazards. So
that's why they have market leaders.
Yes.
And I wonder why they are not enforcing
exactly.
that.
What do they
That's
do?
the essence.
To collect money.
Beyond the collection of
you pay
money,
tax.
now that the place is short, who will you collect money from?
Exactly.
Absolutely.
So the essence is for you to enforce that.
Compliance.
You should know that there are laws and that government will come hard on you if you are not keeping them. This is not the first market that is being shut, and it's not even the first time.
Yes.
Not the first time.
Olowu market too. So
Yeah.
during the week, so I have a CSR activity with mechanics in Olowu market. They call me Mama, and so this guy calls me early in the morning, Mama.
Mama.
I'm in trouble.
You're troubling.
They don't chase us come out, we don't get anything where we go chop. And it was really bothered about it, and I see that it's not just Olowu market now; it is across board. And it's just really it's sad because I see them here.
Wow. Who has any other story here?
They're trouble.
She knows why I said
You have a story.
Yes, I do. Veronica.
All right, so has any story?
Terrorists attack Niger community, abduct 31 villagers. And so this happened on Thursday evening around 7 p.m. And they were from two local governments or two communities in the state. So they include the Shon, Kabula, and Zagaza communities in Munya local government area in Niger State. And this happened in the evening, and really, we found out that about maybe 2 weeks ago, we saw the same story, such that terrorists also attacked somewhere in Niger State, and they used the worship center as their temporary base for their hideouts. And so this is happening again, and the senator representing Niger State Senatorial District, Alhaji Mohammed Sani Musa, has called out for help, saying, please help us, because out of the 9 local governments in his senatorial zone, 5 of them are currently under siege. And is calling on Nigeria as a whole to come to his aid, stating that this state, Niger State, is known for producing the food that we eat. And so if we don't, we would see that it would affect the nation very soon. So please, food security. Yes, food security.
And we recall that even Niger State was where those soldiers were attacked, that were killed, that we had a state burial for them in Abuja some time ago. Niger State is becoming, you know, it's a hotbed for these things. Not central, though. We are seeing some level of attacks, and we know how critical North Central is to the production of food. If you look at Benue State as well, they are under attack and all of that. So we believe that the government...
Is this deliberate?
That's a valid question.
Nigeria.
Because food is very key.
Exactly, you attack the food and then...
No, but the issue is, what is your agitation about? What's your grouse with government? Yes, we know that Boko Haram has an issue with education, Western education and all of that. But these other persons that are agitated, are they the same persons? Now, we need to isolate these individuals. There are bandits, activities, there are kidnappers,
terrorists.
Yes. So how do you isolate them? What is the issues? Yes, we know that they are challenging the government.
But they are not presenting the issues. And they are not attacking the government. They are attacking the people.
To get government's attention.
I don't think they have any agitation. They just want to break down law and order. They just want to cause anarchy.
Now, that is you.
They may be having...
Because they don't have anything to lose.
They may have sponsors from other places.
Well,
of course, they keep Nigeria under.
There are those who are benefiting from all of these activities. We know that. But anyway, take your...
The headline says, confusion shows health condition of Tourism Minister Adejon. So there have been reports that the minister was hospitalized at the Federal Medical Center, Jabi, after experiencing acute poisoning. And the reports also said that she was rushed shortly after she started manifesting symptoms of poisoning, adding that she had spent 4 days at the facility. But there's a source at the ministry that is dispelling this rumor and said that the minister just had malaria. And we shouldn't forget that she has been away for so long and she's just settling into Nigeria after her appointment. So she's still trying to acclimatize to our weather here, and she's basically treating malaria, and she has not been poisoned in any way.
Well, whatever the case is, let her get well. That's the bottom line for me.
Absolutely.
Even though we know how oftentimes public officials do not like to tell us
exactly what
their health status is, but really, whatever it is, let her get well. That's the bottom line. I would have loved to take this story in Kano, where about 1,800 persons, prospective persons, are being screened for marriage. They are being screened for, Kano State is known to have mass burial. Mass marriage, weddings. No, it's not burial. It's weddings, I beg. It's mass weddings.
So they are screened now.
Yeah, so they are screening them for HIV, every other kind of test that is necessary to check.
As well?
I believe so, to ensure that they are healthy to get into marriage as it is at the end of the day. But oftentimes people have been talking about this mass marriage. Why?
It's cheaper.
Anyway, let's move on.
Save the money we spent.
Anyway, to Punch newspaper now. The major story here, last-minute move to avert strike fails. Labour shuns federal government meeting. Some riders here, Labour leaders keep Bajabia Mila long waiting for hours. Aviation union, bank workers, others ready for shutdown. Another story here, poor students, parents seek tuition fees reduction as Independence Day gift. And beyond the mic, inside Mubat's childhood, family struggles. Fails, Lagos shuts Ladipo Market, 3 others in 1 week. And the sad story here, how cooking gas explosion left me partially blind. Imo technician is recalling his ordeal. Tribunal decide Ogun Sakwato governorship petitions today. And then another story here at the top corner, strike may delay Atiku Obi's appeal, store tribunal sittings. Who has what story?
Yeah, so we could do the major headline, I think.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Yeah, so the organized labor comprising the Nigerian Labour Congress and the Trade Union Congress on Friday boycotted an emergency meeting with the federal government. and at the villa, and it was scheduled for 3 p.m. According to the story, they said the federal government had called an emergency meeting with the leaders of the organized labor to hold at the conference room in one of the office of the president's chief of staff. And they had prepared for the meeting. They waited. They had to move the time from 3 p.m. to like 4 p.m. They kept waiting. They had set the table, for them with light refreshments.
Ready to
Labor
have a
did not show up. And
Yeah.
Labor is saying that they are trying to find a way to stop the proposed shutdown, total shutdown strike. And they are also saying that a lot of infrastructure, critical facilities will be a part of this strike. Airports are going to be joining, seaports, electricity grids, fuel supply. They are advising Nigerians to go and make sure that they stock up food in their house,
everything.
because so that the impact is not that much on Nigeria. And Femi Falana had written a letter to the Attorney General of the Federation to say that they must continue the negotiations, because if this strike happens now, it will not pay our economy. We don't have the capacity to withstand a total shutdown.
The shock
right
that
now.
the strike will cause on the economy.
As in, NLC is saying no, the suffering is getting too much for Nigerians. Yeah, fighting for the fuel subsidy removal. I don't know. It's supposed to be happening on Tuesday.
Wait, hang on. We need to quickly go on a break. When we return, we'll continue this conversation. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, make welcome pioneer Positive Force member, dancing queen of the 80s, non-conformist, Afrobeat historian in her right, and long-standing member of the multiple award-winning all-female show Your View, Omoyeni Yeni Anipulapo Kuti, aka YK Power! Ginger,
Take it.
today we'll go here.
Hey, I don't read you.
Are you sure?
Ha. I'm not here to answer questions. I'm here to drink.
We're in trouble today.
Wait till your age.
I was close now.
Eh?
I said 1975.
He said 73. He said 75. Fellas wasn't even born till 75.
So will I drink half?
You go drink. Take. Make I help you. Russian.
No be half. I try.
Which half? You will make me drink. I'll give you a hint.
Lights in no. Nepa Road. Nepa Road in Abeokuta.
First of all, my brain cannot memorize everything.
A big black bug.
A big black dog.
A big black bug.
Oh, sorry. A big.
It don't start.
Ọmọ ọmọ fẹlá ọmọ Aníkúlápó Kútì wọ́n rò pé kí ni kékeré yìí.
It's by Audison. It's not by Audison.
So, have you ever wondered what happens behind the curtains of a man's mind? Or perhaps you're one of those who wonder what men talk about when they gather. Well, here goes. Imagine what it takes to put together the perfect cocktail. Or maybe mocktail. We need a bit of sports, a sprinkling of current affairs, some very deep topical issues, and last but not the least, a healthy dose of grumbling of those we love to hate. And yes, you guessed it, women. So, if you catch the drift, then you're onto something. We will provide you with the right insights into most of your curiosities, right here within this beautiful cocktail we call the Black Table. So, Have you ever wondered what happens behind the curtains of a man's mind? Or perhaps you're one of those who wonder what men talk about when they gather.
All right, thank you for staying with us. We are still looking through the newspaper headlines, and we had taken the story before we went on the break on the proposed nationwide strike that organized labor is putting forward to begin on Tuesday, the 3rd of October. And they decided not to meet with the government when the government called for a last-minute meeting, I think yesterday. And we're talking about how they had told Nigerians to stock up ahead on food items, whatever it is.
Even cash.
It's a total shutdown of the economy as it is.
Yeah, some persons were seen at the banks yesterday trying to withdraw
Of course,
cash.
we'll see queues,
Yes,
long queues, but how many
queues.
persons have money that they
to
want to withdraw?
That's another thing.
And then we know that the economy thrives on the informal economy.
The day-to-day businesses,
Right.
daily bread kind of
80%
business.
of our economy thrives on that. So how are they going to run their business at a time like this? So the issues are complex and interwoven as it is. But organized labor press home their points. Of course, constitutionally is their right. So how do we survive at a time like this is another question.
When everything is going to be shutting down, even flight
When
operations
everything, yes,
Yes,
are also
everywhere
going to be
shutting down.
shutting down. So we'll not have light, we'll not have
it's
fuel, we'll not
just,
have...
We have to have light.
Hey, they are going
It's
to...
critical.
So I
Your
have,
other
yes,
story.
I have the cooking gas explosion story.
Yeah.
So this
sad
man,
one.
Kevin Okpara, had an experience prior to this cooking gas experience in his house where his wife was cooking with a kerosene stove and her phone rang. Immediately her phone rang, there was an explosion. But gratefully, they were able to manage that. And so he had collected somebody else's gas cylinder, and kept it in his house. He lives in a one-bedroom, self-contained.
No.
And so he kept it. Whereas the gas was leaking. He wasn't doing anything about
did
it.
you know?
And so on this particular day, his wife and baby were sleeping on the bed, and he was planning to go out. He installs solar panels. And so when he was trying to arrange his things, his phone rang,
Again.
and he said the next thing, everywhere went black.
So he didn't smell it.
You know how it is when you just
Yes,
manage
when it's
situations and not, you never, let me just, you know.
Sometimes some people do not know it's leaking. They can't smell
Smell
it.
it.
They can't identify the smell.
Well, true.
Gas.
yes.
But in the
If they have
story,
something,
he said,
something wrong with their...
when the story said the cylinder was leaking. Yes,
Means he
now-
knew.
yes.
Smelt it.
But I think people don't know the impact
So
of
please, can I ask, I don't know if there's any science student here. What's the connection with the ringing of the phone to explosion?
No, that is why when it comes to perhaps, you know, when
Waves.
tanker falls and all of that, the waves, you know that petrol, gas, all of these are highly flammable. So when such things like your phone, I'm not a science student, I'm just,
We're just
using the
trying to-
layman,
okay, the frequency.
Yeah.
frequency and all of it, when they collide, there's an explosion.
Because
So
even when-
oftentimes they tell you when you get to a filling station, switch off your
Exactly.
phones. They
But
tell you
people
when a
don't.
tanker falls, don't go there with your phone. That's why we see explosion happens in such areas where people are trying to scoop fuel. So because these are petroleum products that are highly flammable, so they can easily be combustible as it is when the frequency of from the
Combustible,
So-
you are a little bit of
let me
finish your
Finish your story.
So when that happened, he found out that he was hearing his phone from a distance. He was hearing his child crying from a distance, and his wife also was injured already.
Yeah, maybe the
Guess
flung
what?
him away.
His child at the time was 6 months old, and nothing happened to the child.
Thank God.
But his wife was injured, and so neighbors took them to the hospital. And he said again that when he got to the hospital, he found somebody else with a similar case. But this time, the person said the person's alarm on his phone went on. then there was an
Pulse is from the
explosion.
phone.
So you see that it's not only about when a phone rings, so it is the device itself.
Yes, the device itself
Yes.
emits some rays that are not healthy to the body,
Yes.
that can be dangerous.
This device we're holding on
Yes.
our body.
Yes.
Lie down on the bed.
Yes.
Holding, you're sleeping, it's on,
If
over
you
your
check
head.
it and you see the rays that come out of it, that's why they call it e-waste, how it affects the body itself.
Veronica, are you sure you're not a science student? I'm beginning to suspect you.
So anyway,
Anyway, I
but
wish
gratefully,
you
one of the good things was that it was taken to the Lagos State University Teaching Hospital, which is a government hospital, and it was attended to immediately.
Thank God.
You see, and that's another good side to this, because we'd also read over in the news such that people will go to the government hospitals, but there's no one to attend to.
There's no bed.
So this one, it was attended to, and gratefully is currently recovering. One of his eyes totally gone. Second one, the government hospital was able to save it. So he's currently undergoing treatment, seeking for funds to get his medical expenses covered. Wish him a very quick recovery. His name is Kevin Okpara.
And so well meaning Nigerians can look into helping him.
Yes.
To address
Donating something.
Yes, that's
A real
what
donation.
we need to educate
Always.
people on things like this. Know that if you have your gas inside the house, just stick your phone far from
Outside.
it. Bottom line.
Even if the
Or
cylinder
even
is
keep your
outside.
cylinder
Inside
inside
the
the
house.
house.
But you know how some of these
Just-
houses
just-
are? It's a
just
one-room
be
apartment,
safe.
like she mentioned. You know how it is.
You
can walk the wipe.
Use stove.
It's the
It
stove
happened
that
two-
exploded the
2
first
weeks
time
before.
now.
Stove.
No gas. Use firewood.
Do you have a story here?
Yes. So gunmen abducted a retired army general in Imo, and Punch is reporting that the name of the retired general is Richard Duru, Major General Richard Duru, retired. And Punch is reporting that they tried to reach the director of Army Public Relations to confirm this kidnap, but he was not reachable. However, they got some scoop from 2 military sources that confirmed the incident, and they said that troops have been deployed to ensure the safe release of the retired general. And they also said that Sahara reporters said that they tracked the phone number of the Major General, and it was traced to Mbatoili in Imo State before it was switched off. However, these military sources are confirming or reassuring us that efforts are being made to rescue the retired general.
We do hope he is rescued as quickly as possible. Let's quickly move on now to Saturday's Sun. And a major story here says, indefinite strike, Labour adamant. We are not aware of any court injunction. Organized Labour is saying that will ground air travels nationwide. Aviation workers are saying they are joining in the strike. Tinubu Sultan begged Labour to shelve strike. And another story here, highways to hell. Nigerians bemoan unimaginable nightmares on collapsed federal roads. Another story, how economic downturn bites hard on MSMEs. And the federal allocation, the federal government states LGCs share 1.1 trillion for August. At the top corner here, Nigeria at 63 ethnic nationalities renew call for restructuring. Regrettably, nation still wobbling. All right, military arrests 8 suspected killers of Catholic seminarian others. P2B, no economic activity can flourish with insecurity. Who has what story?
The Special Military Task Force, Operation Safe Haven, OPSH, operating in Plateau and parts of Bauchi and Kaduna states, have arrested suspected killers of Naaman Stephen, a Catholic seminarian. The media officer of OPSH, Captain James Oya, was the one who disclosed this while addressing newsmen on Friday in Jos. The gunmen killed Naaman when they attacked the rectory of St. Raphael Catholic Church, Fadan Kamatan of Zango, Kataf local government area of Kaduna State. The seminarian was killed when the criminals set the rectory ablaze after a failed kidnap attempt on 2 priests working in the parish. According to Oya as well, he said among the arrested suspects were also those who killed Dorothy Jonathan at Afana community of Zango, Kataf, after they failed to have carnal knowledge of her. And the suspects involved in the attack of burning the St. Raphael's Catholic Church, Father Nkamatan, September 7, were also a part of the people arrested. So it was the swift response of our troops, that rescued Reverend Emmanuel Okolo and Noah Monday, the parish priest and his assistant on the whole. And they have about 8 suspects in custody who have been arrested for committing the above crimes. So they also said they found that they were running a gun manufacturing factory in the area. They said they found 31 weapons of various categories. The weapons included AK-47 rifles, 10 locally fabricated pistols, 5 locally fabricated AK-47 rifles, 9 revolvers, 3 locally fabricated submachine guns, rounds of 7.62 millimeter special ammunition, and machine tools. They were able to get all of this from them.
It's amazing
it's a good
how
one
we
for
have
our military.
Yes, it's amazing how we have this knowledge, people that have these skills to do this and to even manufacture. I'm looking at locally.
Of course,
So imagine if they are channeled rightly.
Or governments come and pick them up
and use them to channel it appropriately.
Yes, we know what to do.
Because, well, it's just a sad one, but it's good that we are seeing that these persons have been arrested.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, justice has to be seen to be done. Yeah. That is so that people can gain closure and trust the system to bring justice for them. Who has what story again?
Yes, so I have the highway to hell. So endless trauma for long suffering users. And so this was like a special report, a 4-paged report by the reporters. And they had picture images of different highways in Nigeria. There's the Warri Sapele Benin Road that looks so bad. There's also the Koko in Delta State and Ologbo Road in Edo State. That one has flood in between and then trailers there. And so there's also the East-West Road, Eleme, East-West Road. There's another Bayelsa Road. These pictures are just
really highways.
Yes, highways. And
did they mention Kogi?
In fact, the story even went on to give a comprehensive breakdown on the progress made on all major highways in Nigeria. And, well, it also said the good parts. So it acknowledged the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway.
The last administration invested in infrastructure development, especially with regards to roads, some roads, major roads, but there are still some
that have not been touched.
There's Enugu-Onitsha Expressway. Enugu Otukpo Makodi Road.
Otukpo Makodi.
So no, I'm saying I know that road. That's Okene, Abuja. It's a major road, Lokoja. That's
even though some work has been done, but there's still a lot more work yet to be done. And
all right, I think we need to quickly go on a commercial break. We'll go on this break. When we return, we'll have a conversation here. To stay with us.
Stay tuned.
So, have you ever wondered what happens behind the curtains of a man's mind? Or perhaps you're one of those who wonder what men talk about when they gather. Well, here goes. Imagine what it takes to put together the perfect cocktail. Or maybe mocktail. We need a bit of sports, a sprinkling of current affairs, some very deep topical issues, and last but not the least, a healthy dose of grumbling of those we love to hate. And yes, you guessed it, women. So, if you catch the drift, then you're onto something. We will provide you with the right insights into most of your curiosities, right here within this beautiful cocktail we call the Black Table. So, have you ever wondered what happens behind the curtains of a man's mind? Or perhaps you're one of those who wonder what men talk about when they gather. Well, here goes.
Ladies and gentlemen, make welcome pioneer Positive Force member, dancing queen of the 80s, non-conformist, Afrobeat historian in her right, and long-standing member of the multiple award-winning all-female show Your View, Omoyeni Yeni Anikulapo Kuti, aka YK Power! Ginger!
Yeah, take it.
Today we'll go here.
Hey, I didn't read you.
Are you sure?
Ha. I'm not here to answer questions, I'm here to drink.
We're in trouble today.
Wait till your age.
I was close now.
Eh?
I said 1975.
He said 73. He said 75. Fellas wasn't even born in 75.
So will I drink half?
You go drink. Take. Make I help you. Russian.
No be half.
Which half? You will make me drink. I'll give you a hint.
Lights in no. Nepa Road. Nepa Road in Abeokuta.
All right, thank you for staying with us. Now, a viral video showed Governor Hope Uzodinma of Imo State speaking to youth, saying, quote, I have discussed with European Union companies, Canadian companies too. They will give Imo youth 4,000 jobs, and that by December you will get employment letters and visas. Now, that was taking a quote from what he said in that video because it was the excerpt we saw on social media. Now, what are your thoughts on the governor in Nigeria promising Jakpa to youths? Join the conversation and call us on 081-0764-1679 or 090-241-63440 or tweet to us at TVC Connect using the hashtag YourView on TVC. And let's quickly get that visual to hear him say what he said.
Let me tell you something. I have gone further to negotiate with the European Union companies and Canadian companies. They are sending us special areas of digital skill, which our youth will also learn. And by December this year, 4,000 Imo youths will be employed in Europe. Letter comes, the governor will pay for your 8 tickets.
All right, let's remember that Governor Hope Uzodinma of Imo State is seeking re-election in the state, and the election happens in November. And so this one of the campaigns he's doing in the state. And the question has come up as to how did we get to this point where a governor is promising his people jobs outside of his state? Is it that the state does not need the skill, that it's a European country and Canada that needs the skills? Recall we have often talked about our doctors, our skilled workers leaving the country as it is, and that we have a dearth in the number of workers that we need who are skilled as it is, and we are already seeing the impact, you know, in the country. And then the promises he is making, how is it related to the needs of the people as it is right now? Because yes, we see some excitement in those that are there. A majority of them look like they are youth. They are excited and they were screaming and shouting. But when you look at it critically, how does it relate to what the people need at this point? Because beyond the governor himself, we have seen during campaign periods, we have seen oftentimes where some of these persons make promises that do not seemingly align with the needs of the people. Even the last administration, former President Buhari speaking, that when there was a report that Nigeria has 133 million Nigerians are facing multidimensional poverty, and he was addressing that issue, and he said that oftentimes most of these governors carry out projects that are not beneficial to the people. They get the monies, they get the allocation. This morning we read that 1.1 trillion as federal allocation was being shared by the states and local governments and all of that, that they do not carry out projects that impact the lives of these people. That is why we are still seeing some of the results we are getting with regards to the numbers of people under this multidimensional poverty. And so my question is, how did we get to this point where we are getting this kind of statements?
Let me start by saying something somebody said on YouTube. My thought about the governor is that he's confused. Maybe he wanted to say Calabar, not Canada. This was said by Truth is Truth. It's his opinion, and it's possible, you know. But when I saw that video, I cringed. I cringed because he sounded like there was no hope in Imo State. We have
his Hope.
His name is Hope. His name is Hope, Veronica. And he sounded like there was no hope. You know we have youths today who want greener pastures, who have looked at their parents and they are saying, this is not the life for me. Even people who are professionals. We have doctors. You mentioned brain drain, you know, while you were talking right now. And these people want a greener pasture. If you, as a governor, I sat back to say, okay, what do we need to develop the state? If I send 4,000 youths outside the country to develop the skills, they study and they come back, their factories ready for them, their jobs ready for them, they come back and grow the economy. That will make more sense. That will make more sense. That would show that you are thinking about the growth of your people. And we know when it comes to people vying for second term, you want to come back, we make promises that we cannot even keep. So you want to use taxpayers' money. He said he will pay their flight ticket to 4,000 people. So taxpayers' money, minimum wage, we are still struggling. You will now gather the money to send people abroad with no hope of coming back. What have you achieved in your state? What have you achieved in your community? Do these people have handlers? Do they have a team that they listen to? Do they have consultants that they work with? You want to develop something. The question is, what do we do in this place to grow this place, to make this place an envy of other states? People like you now will say, I want to go to Imo State, that's what's happening. I want to set up something in Imo State, that's what's happening. You don't have that plan. You are shipping the youths, the energy that you have for your state. You are taking them outside. Yes! Of the energy, the vibrancy that you have, your workforce. You are shipping them away to Europe with no plans of coming back to develop. So the remaining people, what will they be doing?
They will repatriate those funds. So to the states, to the country. You don't know that they repatriate funds back to the country.
With the black taxes that they pay by sending money to their family members? Is that repatriating funds?
That's it.
To
that's
what end? To what's the good? All the people collecting money. Veronica, calm down. All the monies that you've been collecting from your sisters abroad, what has it done for you? It's to feed.
Beyond feeding. There are those who are investing those monies.
How much are they sending?
They are sending, no, they have, some of them have investments in this country, but we get your point. Let's hear another person's perspective to this issue, perhaps, because maybe he's looking at the repatriation of funds. We do not know. Anyway, let me come to you now. What do you think?
When I saw the story, I was like, I never see this kind of thing before.
Wonderful.
I was shocked. I was like, I've never seen this kind of campaign promise before. It's so unusual. You know, we hear the, I'll give you light, I'll give you roads, we'll create jobs, we'll do this. But this one is promising jackpot to another country. And
thinking outside the box.
No, I've tried to think outside the box, really. And I just totally want to align my thoughts with what BC said. Exactly, that's why do you want to use taxpayers' money to send these people abroad? I'm aware that the state is... I think they have this Skill Up digital program where they're training. I think they've been able to train 20,000 people, 20,000 youths, you know, to earn digital skills. So why can we not bring those companies here to Imo State to say that we have skilled workers now that can help you to, you know, do this or that in your company? Where are the opportunities? We can work remotely.
We had a situation during the amnesty program. We sent these people they were trained, where some persons were taking from the South to go and get training outside the country, and some of them returned.
But not employments. The governor said they will be employed. The employment letters will come in December. And why
even now the aspect of training, that was why I brought that aspect.
Okay. So I'm just wondering, why would you train your youths with taxpayers' money, and then you want to ship them abroad without even I would not want to use the word exploits, but letting them give back to your own economy before you allow them to then seek other, greener pastures abroad. And why I am even more disappointed is that reporters have reached out to the EU to ask, to confirm if the governor has actually reached out. And they said no, that they haven't heard anything. They don't even understand. They're not aware. And even if that kind of project, projects of that magnitude they would have known, because there needs to be a proper provisions for it to go through.
Because they already give you documentation
that you just send people abroad.
He said December, that they'll get their letters and they'll travel in December.
Yes.
Is that not what we heard?
That's what he said. He's already saying December. Meanwhile, the EU does not even know. So what are the plans? What's the program? How you know how it is?
You should have begun that conversation
way before now.
But maybe we do not know. Maybe we do. No, maybe we do not know. But Toby, what do you know, please?
Veronica. So, listening to you, BC, and listening to Oye, I agree with you 100%. But then I'm a bit worried about the response the youths were giving.
Thank you.
They were
excited.
Elated. I never see this kind of thing before.
It's a campaign grounds now. They're supposed to cheer him up. To say, no,
they want to jump on their own.
They want to do something on their own.
He's telling them what they want to hear.
A government is not saying, don't waste your money. I will help you. Of course. I mean, the response was very, very... And that goes to show that this Nigerian youth, it's a deeper problem that we have beyond the surface of we want to jackpot. The average... I don't want to say the average Nigerian or the average youth is because we are also in that WhatsApp group, right?
No, I'm not.
Meaning that we are also the youth that we're speaking, we're still the youth. But we can't use our own knowledge to serve as a basis for every other youth. We are not even in that
WhatsApp group.
We are not even in that space. But if we say the Nigerian youth, we are also part of them. And so, for people like this, they may want to say, December na 3 months, I no go do any work again. Make I just get my passport ready. They wait. And that's another time wasted because they are believing that our governor, who serves as an authority figure, has said they will do this. And then what's the criteria for picking the 4,000 people?
We don't even know.
We don't even know all of those details. If you say the EU has not confirmed it, weak meal. It's a more Please.
So you two don't.
Could it just be that it's
you don't know what the conversation behind? I thought you would know. We need to go.
No, I don't know the conversation. I don't know the conversation.
Let's go on break first.
I'm not in Imo State.
We're going on a break. When we return, we'll continue this conversation. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right back.
Your doctor.
No.
Come closer. A little bit more. Perfect. I have exciting news for you. You asked for it and you got it. Your favorite breakfast show, Your View, will be going to 2 hours. We're going to have in-depth analysis of the newspaper review and more conversations on the hot topics. The ladies of Your View and I will be stirring up our guests to get in-depth into all the various topics, and you, our viewers, will have the opportunity to call in and share your views. After all, it's your view. Join us on Your View, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. for a fantastic conversation. Don't miss it.
Ladies and gentlemen, make welcome the grand comedian of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Gbenga Adeyinka the First. OJ right here, 7 of 7, like you already know.
Gbenga right here, 7 of 7, like I'm beginning to know.
It's now time for the question.
You don't scare me one bit. Bata, I go drink. So.
Okay. So now one chance for inter. My first question. Do you remember the names of the winners of that edition of StarQuest?
Of course I do.
Why do you?
And I hate myself for this, because I have this question for you. Final question. No. Where outside Nigeria and what year? I think you're the only one that can be wicked.
I am thinking, because I know back in the day.
Don't think. Answer my question quick. You are thinking too much. I don't like it.
The UK.
Final answer.
All right, thank you for staying with us. We are still talking about the statement Governor Hope Uzodinma made while on the campaign ground, talking about taking about 4,000 Imo youths out of the country to some European Union companies and Canadian companies to work. But I hear we have Comrade Tiger on the line trying to weigh in on this conversation. Good morning, Comrade Tiger. Go ahead with your contribution.
Fine morning, my beautiful sisters.
Good morning.
And thank you for this wonderful program.
Thank you.
First of all, I want to appreciate you all for the good work you guys have been doing for years now.
Thank you very much.
And my wife never missed to watch you guys before doing anything.
Extend our greetings to her.
I will do.
All right.
Now I want to let you people know. If somebody have watched the news last week, Germany have been closing their border between Germany and Poland. They have closed their border, seriously.
Yeah.
There is no job in Europe. There's no job in Europe. You and I know. Everybody knows there's no job in Europe. The economy is hitting everywhere. How could somebody, you leave your place, you are promising somebody a job in a foreign country? How do you think it is possible? Do you think those youths you see there shouting and yelling, you think they are the use of Imo State? They are not. These are rented, paid. No youth from Imo State with his conscience. That is, when you look at them, most of them are graduates that are there. At least they know they understand their rights. How could you promise such people that you are going to give them job in Europe? There's no family that don't have somebody in Europe, or no kindred or village.
Yeah.
We all know what is happening in Europe.
Right.
What is happening in Europe? Which country? Is it Germany? Is it Greece? Is it Italy? Is it France? The world is in everybody's tip now to access. This is to tell you the kind of people that we are having in the government.
Comrade Tiger, thank you very much for that contribution.
So if they don't believe him, why were they jubilating?
He mentioned something that perhaps those persons there are hired crowds that have been paid to come and just cheer the governor on and just creates a semblance of he has the support of the people. That's what I'm getting from what he's saying, because he also went ahead to say that they are not Imo youths. I don't know how he got to know, but he said that they are not Imo youths and they are possibly hired to come and listen to the governor and cheer him on as it is. But I am wondering if sometimes we sit back and look at the impact of some of these statements made, how it is that the issue of trust between the people and the government we've been talking about over the years, where you cannot fulfill promises you made.
Yeah.
If we are looking at that aspect, because that's the very huge elephant in the room, over the years, and we've been trying to bridge that gap.
Yes.
Yet we are still seeing statements like this coming out from persons in authority. Are we looking at the attendant impact on the long run, especially where you cannot fulfill such promises?
Okay, so for me, I think we are beginning to open our eyes in Nigeria. A lot of people are becoming more aware. And people will sit back and hear this statement and say, this is not feasible. I even agree it's not feasible. There's no way this will happen. 4,000 youths, where? Which country? Which job? There is no way it's going to happen. But I'm more worried that you make this bold statement publicly. And after a few months, so you made the statement, you said by December they will get the letter, because re-election is in November. Why don't they get the letter before the re-election? So if they get the letter, then we are gingered. No, hold on, my sister. We will be gingered to vote for you. But now you want to deceive us with the letter will come in December so that we can vote for you now, waiting for December. Is political. See, I read political science. So you are tricked. Okay, you have a call?
I have a call. George is calling from Iyanokpaja. George, go ahead with your contribution.
Good morning, ladies.
Good morning. Morning.
Yeah, well done. You're doing a good job. Well
Thank
done.
you.
I enjoy your program every day.
Thank you.
The issue on ground, the issue of Governor Hope, the message is very simple and clear. One, he has nothing to offer. That is just it. Two, he is about to deceive. He's telling lies. Just like Ubi Ajulu said, that by December he's already there. This is his second time.
But the people have to determine if he'll be there or not. It's not cast in
He is
stone.
desperate. This is desperation, my dear. He is just desperate. He is trying to do whatever he can to get there. This is desperation at work. That is just it. He has nothing to offer. How can he, if you move all the people in him, will you too much? Well done, people. There's nothing. He has nothing to offer. That's just it. Have a nice day.
And you too. Thank you.
So I was, saying that I don't see this happening. There's no feasibility, and I'm worried about the promise that will not be accomplished, and then we put it on the list of all the politicians that come and tell us lies. They are not paying attention to the needs of the people. They are not paying attention to how the people perceive. Yes, how people perceive them.
Yeah.
They don't even care whether we trust them or not. Because if you are a leader, you should understand that your word is your bond. You will not overpromise what you cannot deliver. I remember when my daughter was in primary school, my first daughter, they were about to campaign for head girl and stuff. So she came home and I said, okay, write your manifesto. She wrote the manifesto and she presented it, and she was promising she would fix their water tap. She will fix tap, she will put ice cream, something. I said, wait. Oh, do you have money? Who is going to do that? Nah. Change it. Tell them you are going to help them make sure that students obey. You are going to use something you can, more realistic, something you can deliver, so that if people can hold you to it. But when you give all these lofty promises, I will do this, and we have seen this over the years. 1 naira will not be it will not be 1 naira to $1. You will now be buying cars will run on water instead of fuel. At the end of the day, where are we today? And you are not bothered about the impacts, like you mentioned, the impact long term. How the people would you don't even care whether the people trust you or not. How they will perceive you. You don't care. You just want to do whatever it takes to get to that position. Then when you get there, you come and start telling us stories. I think Nigerians should wake up. We need people who will tell us what they would do. We don't want over-promise. Tell us the barest minimum. Are you giving us jobs?
Actually seeking for, it's not much.
Yes, so basic amenities.
Light.
Give us light. Water. Good road. Healthcare. Quality education. That is all. We will handle take care of ourselves. So we want people, we're going to be paying attention to people, and I wish the people of Imo will open their eyes with these statements.
Toby, you wanted to say something, yeah.
So I was thinking about it, and you know, the regular promise would be, I will create jobs. But we see that I will create jobs is no, they sell again. So what else?
When I said think outside the box,
what else can I say that would make these people respond, right? And another thing about it is that thinking about it, I'm thinking, okay, if really he has the intention of doing this, what does it take to get these 4,000 youths out? As Imo State is currently, do they have the resources?
Let's check ticket prices.
So even, please check ticket price first. Multiplied by 4,000. Do they have the resources to actually get this done? If they do not, what other plans is this governor putting in place to ensure that this promise doesn't go away like other promises that we've heard over the years?
All right, we have a caller on the line, Alhaji Maruf, calling from Ikeja. Good morning. Go ahead with your contribution, please. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Right, go ahead with your contribution. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Good morning.
First and foremost, I will let you people know that what you are doing is okay. But if somebody says something, please, you people should not judge within that period. Say what your mind tells you. But you people should not say, no, he can't do it. You don't know his mind. You don't know his mind. That's why that the election is coming up. You don't know his mind. Whether he will be able to do it or not, it's only God that knows. So please,
Alhaji Maruf, I wanted to know if you knew how he was going to do it, so you can tell us, because on this part of it's good to understand. Let's get different positions to issues like this. Let's have a balanced view. So if you can call back to tell us how you got to know that he has put plans in place to ensure that 4,000 youths are taken outside of Imo State, outside of the country.
And the resources available.
To engage them, to train them and engage them outside. Please let us know so that we are not just having a conversation that is not balanced. It's very important.
Amen. Yes, and then looking at the states, explaining now what is the current internally generated revenue of the state. And when we put that side by side, the other things that need to be done within the state.
Insecurity.
There are so many issues. And this one now coming up again would actually take in some funds. So if the state is generating so much, why not? Do you see? But when we're able to find that out, we'll be able to now say, okay, if it or you know fit.
If it.
But like,
if the state is generating so much, there will be jobs. Because it's from the jobs that the government will take the taxes.
No,
there will be factories.
Perhaps. Calm down.
We'll be having conversations with companies to come and establish factories. So you train your people and you youths have abundance of jobs.
Perhaps that's how we can generate. Pipeline. Perhaps that's also in the pipeline. In the sense that he's creating some here and he's taking some others outside the country.
Veronica, God will judge you.
She has to
I'm looking for ticket.
Veronica is
I don't understand.
Veronica, I'm feeling you.
We are trying to balance this conversation. Did you hear what the last caller said?
Yes, we heard.
There's a possibility. We do not. We are not in Imo State, for goodness sake. There's a possibility that he's perhaps engaging some companies within the country to come to Imo State, create jobs for the people. There are more than 4,000 youths in Imo State, for goodness sake. So perhaps that is just the quota he wants to begin with and create jobs.
Well, because some reporters have reached out to the EU, and then they said that they do not know, they are not aware of any plans that even if such things are going to happen, it might be a private sector discussion with the governor, but there is no way they would do it without involving the EU. So obviously, I do not know how that plan was to come to fruition by December. I don't know, unless it has some fast-tracking mechanism somewhere that we do not know of. But what I am even more surprised about is why sitting governors still have to use bogus lies to, or let me not call it a lie, bogus promises to woo people to vote for them. As a sitting governor, your 4-year administration is your CV.
It should show how popular you are with
it will show how popular you are with the people. What have you been able to do? What impact? You don't even, in fact, for your second term, you don't even need to talk too much. So why are we still having these kind of bogus promises that do not look realistic? It's like Nigerian politicians do not rate us. They don't send us at all. And I just think politicians that still go ahead to make bogus promises have total disregard, total disrespect, and we need to make a law for politicians that do not fulfill their promises. Or we take laws into our hands, we'll drag you on the road.
I want us to talk about that, but let's allow Francisca calling from K2 share her view on this matter. Good morning, Francisca. Go ahead.
Good morning, ma'am.
Morning.
I love what you are doing.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You all. I actually want to make a point on what you're saying concerning the Imo State. Actually, I'm Imolite.
Oh, great. How do you feel about this statement?
I am highly disappointed by my governor, I would say. Because checking the past 4 years, there's not been anything going on in Imo State. It has been issues here and there, insecurity here and there. This is a place that used to be a home for all. Right? People come into the state, lodge, have fun, and go back to their various locations. But it's no longer like that. The how come is not giving us this promise that is moving people to Europe? For crying out loud, there are so many schools in Imo State where we have educated people, good people with good grades. If actually he's doing a good job, he should have retained those ones. The graduates, he should have retained those ones. So many youths, when I mean so many youths, are out of the state because of insecurity, looking for somewhere to shelter, to get something doing. Now, my home place, I can't go home. Osu in particular is a place you cannot even put your head. The biggest market that goes on in Osu is no longer trading because of insecurity. Markets are burned down. Houses are, my own father's house was partly burnt down.
So sorry about that.
So, I don't understand why he's giving us these flamboyant promises when he's actually doing nothing. So that's actually why I'm calling.
Thank you
for
your insight.
What he's saying. It's obvious that he doesn't really have plans for the Imo life.
Francesca, thank you for that call. Sorry about your father's house that was burnt down, an unfortunate incident there. She's an Imolite. I'm glad that someone who is from that part of the country is calling to tell us. We need more of persons from Imo to call us, to give us better perspective on perhaps what the governor has done and what he is trying to build his campaign promises on, as that we hear him say as it is. And then I mentioned, okay, you want to say
something? Yes, so
yes.
Let's even break down the dynamics of relocating.
Right.
It's not just the tickets that you need. When you get there, you will get accommodation. You will eat. You would, sort out yourself in some other ways. You will settle in. Are there going to be provisions for that? Because if you're getting a job, they're not going there as expatriates. It's expatriates that they are getting your accommodation ready before you get there. If you're going as an ordinary, I have people who relocated. They had to squat somewhere. They had to find ways to pay rent before the jobs came. And what's the guarantee that the country? So I don't know how he's going to send them to the countries. Maybe he will pick 10 people to Canada, 10 people to Belarus 10 people to, let it not be the case of they sent us here and we are stranded we're sleeping in the desert. There's no food, there's no accommodation, even the jobs, the people are not ready. They still have people that they
per diem and all
work. Yes. So what's the breakdown of the dynamic?
I believe that I'm not a spokesperson for the government or the governor. No, let me don't suspect me yet. No, I'm still a staff of TVC, right? So perhaps maybe in the conversation he's having with these people, those arrangements
are being made.
Part of it. Of course, you cannot just send people and leave them stranded. I mean, it doesn't paint you in a good light. He should know. I want to believe that. So I want to think that such arrangement.
Why are you thinking for him?
She's thinking and she's smiling.
Thinking outside the box.
No, why are you thinking? I don't understand. We have thinking for the line. Pelumi, good morning. Don't mind them. Good morning. Thank you for joining us. Go ahead with your contribution.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I think Veronica is thinking for him because somebody called earlier and said, you don't know how he plans to achieve it.
Thank you.
Veronica,
Thank you.
Maybe Veronica knows something that you don't know.
Pelumi, and I thought you were with me.
Okay, so you see, the situation we have found ourselves in this country is a very terrible situation.
Right.
First and foremost, as citizens, we don't look in the directions that we should look at.
Okay.
And I'm saying that because, number one, our governors are a big problem in this country. So every problem of the country, we face it on the federal government. Whereas there is so much that our governors can do in their respective states.
Absolutely.
And if you now look at it, you now see that the failure of these respective states puts a whole lot of pressure on a few states that are trying to even advance, to even move towards development, globalization, industrialization, and all of that. For example, you see that an average person from some parts of the country can just carry their bag or even not carry any bag and just come to Lagos and say that once I get to Lagos, I will get under the bridge to sleep, and from there I can figure the rest out.
Yeah.
So the failure of these other states becomes a whole lot of pressure on a state like Lagos, on a state like Kano, on a state like, on even places like Abuja. So our governors have a role to play, but then, are they thinking in the right direction? Now, this governor has said that he's promising 4,000 Imo youths, Japa tickets. Let's even put it, let's do some bit of mathematics. Say you are spending an average of 5 million on one person. That is 20 billion for this project that the governor wants to do. What can this 20 billion do that we can see points to in Imo? This 20 billion, 4 billion will set up a sorbitol factory. Sorbitol is the base raw materials that you use for toothpaste production. And you know our population in Nigeria. So 20 billion is going to set up 5 sorbitol factories in Imo State. He's not thinking of that. And do you know how many people will be employed? Directly and indirectly, it will have taken more than 4,000 people out of their unemployment basket. 5 billion naira is going to set up a bottle manufacturing plant that has the capacity to produce 24,000 bottles per day. 24,000 bottles per day. I'm talking of all these PET bottles. He's not thinking of that 20 billion, that JAPA project can successfully build 4 of such companies.
Okay. So,
thank you so much for speaking with us, Pelumi.
Veronica.
I think we need to go on a break. Right? Right. When we go on a break, when we return, we'll continue this conversation. Stay with us.
Stay tuned.
Ladies and gentlemen, make welcome the one who can make time stand still forever, Mr. Kelechi Amadi. How are you doing, sir?
I'm good, my brother.
You love that intro, Abi?
Yeah. It was great.
Okay,
thank you.
We try like that.
Thank you.
Now my question, which I feel is a cheap question.
Oh, go ahead.
What does ISO stand for?
That is it. I think I'll drink.
No, you're joking.
I'm not joking.
No. Shay, you didn't want me. You're whining me now.
I think I'll drink.
Huh?
No problem.
Okay.
I've always known it as ISO. I never bothered to know what it means. I know what it means, but I never bothered to know what the acronym is. Tell me the brand of camera that I use, so much so that I even became an ambassador. That's very easy. It's out there.
It's supposed to be, yeah.
I just said, look, I give you this one as a token of my appreciation.
Sony.
Drink!
No, I'm not done. You did not say final answer.
It's final answer.
You did not ask me if that was my final answer.
You don't have any choice again. It's only
Nikon.
How many cameras do they have? My
Nikon.
friend to drink. I gave you a very easy something.
Nikon now. Ikechukwu Sunday Okonkwo, aka Cross. Now your intro without
Wow.
So there's a name that thing that's.
I'm just drinking because you say I should drink. There's no particular answer.
You think it's only that can be wicked?
What's the answer?
Subterfuge.
Eh?
Yeah. They claim you did, but you said it just happened. That
And it's called what again?
Subterfuge.
Such a fuge.
SUBTERFUGE.
So you look me finish from head to toe. You look at a person who go know what to become such. Yeah?
The nude wasn't like a game plan. Or...
I promise you, it was actually a mistake. Like it was sending it to someone, and it just mistakenly just went there.
Perfect. I have exciting news for you. You asked for it and you got it. Your favorite breakfast show, Your View, will be going to 2 hours. We're going to have in-depth analysis of the newspaper review and more conversations on the hot topics. The ladies of Your View and I will be stirring up our guests to get in-depth into all the various topics, and you, our viewers, will have the opportunity to call in and share your views. After all, it's Your View. Join us on Your View, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. for a fantastic conversation. Don't miss it.
Why don't you invite those companies abroad to invest in your state? And so, again, this conversation of will provide jobs are things that we've still heard over time, that the youths are wondering what else can be done aside these jobs.
So he may be planning to use his personal funds for this one.
Because from the government...
You, Veronica, you should know.
See, don't drag me, carry me over, I don't know. As it is like this. I'm a staff of TV, so I don't work for Imo State government. Joe.
Let's take some messages, can I?
Please go ahead.
Okay. So Akani Taiwo says, one thing we should understand is this present day. And he now went ahead to ask Veronica, say, if he wanted to first speak 4,000, why did he wait till now? By now, he should have been on the third set of another 4,000. Truth is truth said, Adami, honestly, your head gets oil. You are very correct. Second time as a governor, you don't need much talk. Your 4 years work will speak and campaign for you. Not now trying to use abroad to scam them.
Yeah.
Governor Hope says, okay, this person says,
Governor
I think, is his name Governor Hope?
No, he's calling
the governor. I think creating 4,000 jobs in Imo should be more important than that of Europe. You will reap what you sow. Take more now. You're there.
Andrew says, Governor Uzodinma, relocation of 4,000 Imo youths to Europe is the typical example of colonial mentality, still affecting Africans.
Yeah.
Why not develop your state and make the youth stay? And so Yasmin Maman says, these are the things the people want to hear far. People suspend reasoning once they see their so-called leaders. Many there would rather go home with 1K each than anything else.
Ansnam says they already have a good policy of training the youth in digital skills.
Yeah.
You just goofed with the European nonsense. Maybe the speech writer messed up. Jobs should be coming to Imo and Forex from Nigeria.
He wasn't reading a script, was he?
They may have had a plan. I don't want to believe that as a leader, you will come out without having a plan with your team. You are supposed to plan these things. You're supposed to have conversations on the implications of whatever policies or whatever programs or whatever projects you're going to carry out. I watch a lot of American film, and I know that, you know, in these issues, do you have a call?
Okay. Yes, we have a call. Let's pick Collins' call, and he's calling from Anambra. Collins, good morning. Thank you for joining us. Yeah.
Sorry.
Please call back, Collins.
Yeah. So I was saying,
BC was telling us she watched a lot of American movies.
Yes, and I know that for every leader who wants to make a statement, who wants to carry out a new project for the people, they always, you call the PR, they have a team. Aside from before PR will be the ones to fine tune how you're going to present it, right, and the packaging. But they have a team of consultants, of the diplomats, of strategists who would sit down and look at your policy holistically, all the angles. Who are we reaching?
And attendance implication.
Yes, and the sometimes, even with all those looking at everything, they may not even see some implications that will fall out at the end of the day. But then they've taken a closer look. They've considered a lot of people, a lot of things. They've considered the nation and their overall goal to the sustenance of the place that they are leading and all of that. I believe that our leaders don't know how to be leaders. When they call for leadership trainings, I went to one recently, a few months ago, got me leadership training. And the things I was learning there, I was wishing our governors were present. I was wishing. Do
you forget?
Hold on, wait.
I want to travel for events.
Maybe they are paying attention.
It's one thing to go for an event, it's another thing to listen.
I'm happy you mentioned pay attention.
So knowledge is power, Veronica.
I agree with you. But do you
knowledge applied is power.
Those people who went for this same training you went for and did not pick anything out of there.
So why are they going?
I'm
not your leader.
I think it's just total.
If you cannot learn from, so you are present, so that you collect extra code. Okay, you get dollars. It's here in a pocket. It's there. Follow girlfriend. A bar shop. Go designer. Go designer.
Again with the section.
No, you will understand. Oh yeah.
I'm a good girlfriend. No, I'm a show. I'm a more.
We did this, we did that, and then your people are not feeling the implications. They are not feeling
until we begin to make our leaders understand that you have been called to serve.
Absolutely. I think it's just total.
You have been called to serve. We are in a democracy. Who elected these people in the first place? Are we not the ones? Did you make them understand that they have been called to serve? These are my questions. Are you holding them accountable for the promises they made that they are not fulfilling?
I think
how do you engage them? Do they not come to you when they are campaigning? When they are campaigning, did you ask them questions?
I think it's total lack of accountability.
Yeah.
Because I don't think there's any legal framework that you can use to hold your leader accountable if they do not fulfill their campaign promises to you. Because if there were, and if we had examples that we had set in the past, I think more leaders or more politicians would have sat up to say, I do not want to go through this kind of embarrassment. So I need to ensure that the promises I make to these people, I must fulfill.
If there's no legal framework, there are other ways.
Unless we drag them on the street. There was one story like that. I've forgotten that country, but then they dragged one of their lawmakers on the road. They beat him or they embarrassed him. They knocked his shirt. We do not want to go there. So before we go there, please treat us right.
Right. We have Mohammed
better.
on the line.
Okay, take Mohammed.
Let me take Mohammed on the line. Mohammed, good morning. Go ahead with your contribution. Mohammed?
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Beautiful job you guys are doing around there.
Thank you.
But I also there was no one managed, I think.
Could you speak up, please?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Okay, I said I don't know, the media team did not handle this well. I think we should also look at the other better side of it. Last week, instead of, I think, over 15,000 youths in Imo, they graduated from a program called Skill Up Imo.
Yeah.
Right? I watched that program.
We mentioned that earlier. Yeah.
Yeah. So we should also look at the other side of it. People get jobs here, right? And earn dollars. So if the governor is saying he is going to get 4,000 people out to go and work, we should also look at the other side of it of earning effect for the country. I hope you guys know what's bigger than tangible. So we should also look at that side of it. I don't think it's outside bad government doing. We should that program. I know the minister of digital economy was there, and he actually praised the governor for doing that program. And it was said in that program that even the federal government can't even do such kind of program. Do you know that the governor shared 15,000 laptops to use of Imo, and with each of those laptops having software worth over 130,000 naira? I think that is commendable. It's not outrightly bad. We should look at the other better part. Thank you so much. Yeah.
All right, Mohammed, thank you for talking about that. We had mentioned it earlier that the governor had done a skill up program. We mentioned it and we talked about
it. Want to export all of that talent outside. Why don't you get them employment opportunities so that they can work remotely?
I think that was where I mentioned that maybe he's in talks with some companies within the country or even outside to come and invest.
You don't even sell coffee. You don't sell coffee.
Okay, so I need to squeeze my
She doesn't smile at the corner of her lips.
The one making me smile. Okay, stop smiling.
Veronica, I agree with you, yes.
So there's a possibility. Thank you. Yes. At least someone is with me on this one. And then he can now look at those who can repatriate funds back to the state. That's what I said now. Yes. They are repatriating funds, dollars, like he mentioned, to the state.
This leadership conversation that you said, it's just... It's unfortunate because when we speak about leadership, it just seems I get a position and anyhow I do it is what should be, right? And taking leadership courses really is not just about attending classes. The ability to implement what you've been taught is the major highlight or the cocoa of the whole thing.
Okay, let's hang on quickly and take Pfizer's call. Calling from Lagos Island. Faisal, good morning. Go ahead with your contribution.
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, Uzodinma promising. It's funny, you know, see people jubilating for him. Because normally, I believe that a politician, after spending 4 years in office, he shouldn't come out at the campaign, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. What you should tell people that this is what I've done after my 4 years in office. This is what I've done. This is where we stop. And if you give your opportunity to continue, this is where we are going to continue from. You get it? You can't be a governor of a state and promising your people that you create job for them outside the country. It's a shame. And moreover, you see, when I heard this, I was just like, It's just like a man on top of, on top of the mountain, promising heaven and earth, and you are taking such a man serious. You get it? He promised to get the employment letter December. That is a month after the election. I'm an APC supporter. I don't have people knows me. I'm a strong APC supporter. But when you see character like this coming up, promising 4,000 jobs outside the country, your country there is insecurity. Your name means Uzodinma means the road is good. There's no good road in Imo State.
Sorry.
No employment, nothing. I promise you 4,000 jobs. How are you going to do it? Like we really have a lot of work to do in this country. I'm serious. We have a lot of work to do. This character we are having as politicians, we don't deserve it.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Faisal. He took it to a different dimension, talking about the governor's name.
Yes.
Hope, bringing hope to the people.
Uzodinma hope now.
So he's bringing, you see?
Obodo hope.
You see? He's bringing them hope in a outside of the country. That's what it is. And then he said
something.
Uzodinma, that is, the road is good.
But they said there are no good roads.
There are no good roads. But perhaps we do not have the full clip of that video. We just saw excerpts.
Yeah.
So we do not know where he began his speech from.
Exactly.
If he had talked about what he had done before, we do not know. It was just an excerpt that was, put on social media that we are talking about. So maybe when we see the full clip, he might have spoken about that and all. But then it's important that you need to bring hope to the people as it is from the whole conversation that we are seeing. Somebody wanted to say something earlier before we went on.
It was the leadership conversation.
Yes,
It's just very important. And if the government can even set up leadership institutes, well,
we have.
I'm even taking it
up again. We have.
Because if the government even has leadership institutes,
they will not run it way.
If
they will not lead it.
If they have attended those leadership institutes, we won't be seeing what we are seeing.
No. You can still attend. Not be you talk now. Say you can attend and not pay attention.
They
attend the ones abroad.
Yeah.
They go to Harvard. They go to big places.
Exactly.
I said it. We don't need to build new institutes. We don't need it. That's another them. We have private ones. If you need private consultants to come and train you,
who
they are there. They are available.
So it's
they're life coaching. They're therapists.
So it's the individual.
It's the individual. Call us to come and train you.
I know.
It's the individual.
Shoot your shot.
But it's the individual and the fact that we as a people, we must begin to see that we have a responsibility that we play when in electing our leaders. We must see ourselves as being responsible. That is one of our major challenge.
Veronica, I like where you're going. But you will not tell
it's leading us nowhere.
No, you will not tell a woman whose child is hungry, who does not have money to take the child to the hospital, not to collect a cup of rice when these people come. So the thing is, for people like us, we know they cannot bamboo. You cannot promise me going to Obodo Ibo.
Don't say that.
No, I'm just telling me, personally. You cannot promise me going to Obodo Ibo as something you want to do for me right now. You can't I'm not there. Even if I've not traveled. The fact that I know that what I want is here. So give me something that will keep me here and make me flourish. Absolutely. That's what I will listen to. But there are a lot of people who have lost hope in the country. And all they see is greener on the other side.
Absolutely.
And the people there, some of them there, there's nothing green there. We go there, we visit, we see the hustle.
Of course.
They will not tell you, they allow you to come. You come and collect your own share of the hustle. So they think that nothing is happening. You discuss with a lot of youth. So I had a young guy who was a dry cleaner in my father's compound at the time when I was growing up. And he was doing well. The governor, Delta State governor's wives, they were bringing laundry, for him. He was making money. All the politicians' wives, he was in my compound there. He paid rent and he took that shop. He was working. All of a sudden, he started a conversation of he had to travel. He wants to travel. He wants to travel. He packed up that business. Wow. Gave out the shop. Arranged. I don't know how they smuggled him. Igbo hardworking guy. Smuggled him into Sierra Leone, all those countries, country.
Illegally.
Yes, illegally. He went there, he suffered for years. By the time he came back, he found his way back. he could not get those customers back.
He can't.
This guy was flourishing, was already making plans to buy a land, build his house and everything. He lost those customers. When he gave us the story of how he suffered in those places, he said he would if he had known, he wouldn't have gone because
but when you tell them those times, they will not listen.
They won't be.
I've had conversations, but we have Joseph on the line calling from Jos. Joseph, good morning. Go ahead with your contribution. Morning.
I love your contribution this morning. Veronica, just putting our brain with your mathematical brain this morning. And the lady in the native, thank you. You are just hitting it. You are giving us bad news. Thank God that the YK and that the neighbor is not on the show this morning. You have been taught. Although what we had to contribute to this is that the man is just a modern slavery. Because I see no reason why there is opportunity in Nigeria. I just pity you two ones who feel abroad is more better than Nigeria. There are opportunities that if this man should invest that money, is willing to take them abroad, will achieve here. And this modern slavery is doing. Thank you. That's all I have to contribute this morning.
All right. Thank you, Joseph. Thank you. Do the people see it as modern slavery?
They will still want to go and say, me self, make her go slave.
Yeah, let me go and
make her go see him by myself.
Let me go and see
There's
by
no
myself.
amount of English that we're currently speaking to some Nigerian youths that would make them know
Change
that
their
this,
mind.
yes, they
I
will
used
still
to
be
have
stuck
a
in their ways.
policeman, right? He did illegal migration. He saw the issues. He saw how people died in his very present. He had big shops. So outside the country, he was in one of these African countries, but he wanted to move illegally. He saw how people's body parts were dismembered and all of that. They tried crossing a fence, and some persons were electrocuted. He saw all of those.
He decided to go.
He came back and now said he still wants to go back.
Wow.
That it's as if he did not plan appropriately.
Oh.
So he wants to do. He said he wants to go. He wants to replan.
He wants to use
and
the
go
better
again because he wasn't finding the job he was doing funny. Yes, we know there were issues, but what are you doing to improve yourself as an individual? What capacity are you building to become relevant to yourself and your society? What are you doing to build capacity? Government will not hand everything to you. We already know that. We see some people who are struggling. We are not saying there are no issues. There are issues. Even in these countries, there are issues. Nothing is perfect anywhere. You might see, they might have structure.
Absolutely.
Agree. They have the structure. They have measures in place to address issues. When you talk about insecurity, they know how to address it quickly. Right? But then,
it was not always like that with them.
It was not always like that.
They had a process.
They had a process to get to where they are.
Our own process.
And it takes a lot to integrate into the society. You don't just go there and you think that they will hand you a job.
Everybody.
It's not like that.
How now?
You must go through the processes.
We've had people say that a rat in Nigeria
enjoys better.
No, a rat abroad. Let me be the rat abroad. Let me not be the rat in Nigeria because they are different. You hear people say all sorts.
Yeah, and you know when a lot of people started moving to the UK, and a lot of them turned to bloggers or vloggers. They were saying, "Oh, it's not easy here. This is that. Look at what I did." People will say, "Come back. Let us go. Let news go." They do not want to listen, and it's so sad.
Unfortunately, it goes back to the issue of accountability. What you said, you promised to lead the people, to serve.
You've been saying this accountability since. How do we hold them accountable? How do they listen to the agitations of the people? How? They are the ones that make the laws.
They make the laws, yes.
They've not put that law to hold them.
Did you know that some senators, some House of Rep members did not return? Some governors did not return in the last election thinking they were popular? That is a way of sending a message. That is a way of sending a message. That's what I'm saying. You have the power. If you do not want them back in, you can do that with your votes. Do you understand the power you have as an individual? Yes, there are laws in place. It is, what did we say democracy is about? This is how we hold our leaders to account. Right? So I am saying that as a people, we have a responsibility towards government, holding them to account. And the government has a responsibility towards us to serve us because you made promises. Deliver on that.
And don't overpromise what you cannot deliver.
Don't go beyond.
We don't expect you to use your blood to deliver.
Perhaps if people will follow through now to see what happens in December. If there are 4,000 persons, the processes that the governor will
ask before December, we need to ask the question.
No, there's election on ground now. Let them finish the electoral process.
So we just leave the people with the promise.
When December now comes, they can now start asking questions now.
Wow.
You don't
then
get.
They go to another location and say
sure
the same thing.
There are
say something
plans in place to put everyone.
I want to believe there are plans in place. He will not just come
so
and
these people said I want
to believe.
You all are saying I can't do it. I will prove you wrong. Mr. Governor, sir.
You should use his
personal
challenging
funds.
You. He should use his personal funds.
From what we've
Most
seen,
states is not generating
enough.
Yes,
fund it.
Do this with taxpayers' money.
It will be maybe it's going to take a loan.
Ladies,
there are ways that you can raise funds.
Have to end the show
or divorce
right now. Right now, you can support too.
From which
with our contribution. Good people of Nigeria. Oh my God. All right, this is where we have to draw the curtains on the program for today. But remember that life itself is a story, a recollection of events that shape one's journey on earth. And you want to share parts of your story with us on Your View. This will enable people to share in your experience, learn valuable life lessons from them. You can also get answers to troubling questions and possible solutions to any challenge you are facing. You can do this anonymously or otherwise. You can send such touching stories to us on yourview@tvccommunications.tv. This is where we eventually draw the curtains. Thank you so much for being a part of this show. Up next is The Beautiful Game. We'll see you on Monday. Bye for now.